Front one because the light bar is... Hey everybody, Marcus here. I've been looking for roof racks for the Cybertruck for quite a while. Tesla has their OEM option, but it's $800 for 2 bars, which I thought was a bit expensive. And TIYard reached out to me and offered to send me a set of their roof rack bars for a review, so I said, yeah, send them over. Now this is a 4-pack set. There are actually 4 mounting points on the Cybertruck. I obviously won't be using the first one because the light bar is installed currently, so I'll be installing 3 sets of roof racks onto the Cybertruck. Tesla's again is only 2 of those for $800, and with my discount code that I'll put in the video description below, you can get this full set, all 4 of them, for $450 or so. Let's get them unboxed and get them installed. Keep on watching. So we've got everything unboxed here. I've got the back set right here and the front set of 2 right here. They come with some tools, all these screws and bolts, etc. you would need, instructions, and then these sticky pads for the mounting brackets. You can see the difference in size between these back 2 and the front 2. So obviously the ones in the front, the truck has a contour that kind of goes in towards the top, so these are going to be shorter bars on the front compared to the back. Now one thing I noticed is that it's nice they have the markings L2, L2, R2, R2 on there, and on the front ones here, L1, L2, R2, R1. So I'm a little bit confused in terms of if these 2 maybe are the same length, and that's why these numbers are all the same, and basically the one on the front has to go on the front, and the second one in that set maybe could go in any of the other 3. It does look significantly shorter, so I don't believe so. But we'll check that out during the install. So here is the mounting bracket fully assembled as it's shipped. Basically the first step is to take the screw out of the top there with the Allen wrench they provide. And once you do that, you get the cover here, and then you also get this piece here. It's nice, sturdy steel. Definitely has some, weight to it. Feels like it'll definitely hold up here. You can see the 2 points where it'll mount on the posts that are in the truck, and then tighten the nuts down on those. All right, now looking at the actual mounting points on the truck here, you have these 3, basically the third one's under the paper here. You would fold this up, and you have the 2 posts there. I believe they're 10mm nuts on there. They do give you an Allen wrench, or not an Allen wrench, they give you a socket here to take those off and to tighten the ones once you get the piece on there. So we'll get these taken off now. Next up, we're going to be applying the sticky pads here that go under here on the bracket. This is the bottom side of the bracket. Now I assume these are to kind of reduce vibrations and noise. They are double-sided sticky, so you peel off one side, stick it to the mount, and then when you're applying it to the truck, you'll peel the other side off and apply that to the fascia there. All right, so here's the bracket on the truck. Now, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm actually not gonna peel the adhesive on that side off, because here's my thought. We use the Cybertent quite a bit, and if I'm putting adhesive on there and then putting the mounting points are here and here, this is where the inflatable tubing for the Cybertent runs along, is on that piece along the edges there. So I don't want the adhesive to basically keep those stuck on if I do need to remove them. Now, I'll try it with them on when we go camping one of these times and see if the tent will fit with them on, or if I'll have to remove them whenever we go camping. But for now, I'm going to leave the adhesive not attached on the bracket there, on any of these basically, just in case we do have to take these off for the Cybertent. Now, with that being on, we just need to put the 2 nuts back on here and attach this point to the truck, and then we'll repeat it on the other side. A helpful tip while you're installing these is that when putting those nuts on there, I don't know if you can actually see here, but there is a little gap by the trim underneath here. So be very careful with those nuts. I dropped one and it actually fell in here. I had to get duct tape, thankfully, and was able to get the nut out of there. Otherwise, I probably would have had a rattle. Thankfully, I do think they give you extra nuts just in case. I believe there is one extra one. Or you could use the ones that the truck came with. But thankfully, got that one out there. Got this attached. Those are both hand tightened with the wrench they gave me. So that's nice and secure. All right, let's do the other side. All right, so next step is going to be getting the actual crossbar installed here. Now, you can see here this channel, this part actually goes on top. You screw in right there. Now the weird thing being, I've seen some videos online and these have rubber seals that go in there, but I don't have any in the package that I got, so I'm gonna have to reach out to TIYard about that and see if that was just something that was missed. Now, this is probably easier with 2 people because this is a pretty heavy metal crossbar here, and the tendency is it's gonna slide on there, and you've got glass underneath, so just make sure at every point here you're keeping pressure on it, even if you're doing it with one hand, because if that slides off and hits the glass, you're probably going to have a pretty hefty bill to fix that. All right, so that crossbar is all installed there. That's on there nice and snug. I started them when I put this on there and then just kept them a little bit loose, just tight enough here so I could get the other side on first. And then once that side had been started, made sure it was even here and then tightened everything down. Next up, I believe we will put the covers back on. All right, let's get the other brackets installed here. No nuts on the back 2 posts from what I can tell, at least on my truck. Forgot to put the adhesive stuff on it. All right, let's get the other brackets installed here. I already have the adhesive. Like I said, I'm not going to peel off the sticky part on these just in case I need to remove them. All right, so we're gonna get the 3rd and 4th crossbars up there. Now they do number these, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna take these stickers off at the end and probably just put some like permanent markers somewhere. It's a little less obvious to see. So I know when I take these off that which one goes where. Now this is obviously a little less high stakes than the glass part up there, and the nice part being that you're not up as high either. Thankfully the running boards are actually super helpful in terms of getting you just at the right vantage point for getting these installed. Just gonna get that started firm but not tight until I get the other side on. All right, third row is done. Let's get the last one on. All right, so we've got all three installed, of course not with the light bar there. Total install time, probably like a half an hour total. Once I kind of got the hang of it with these first ones, these ones flew by otherwise. Now, you can see with this, obviously these are going to kind of restrict bed access in a way. If you have anything big, you've got to go under the bars. We have the cyber tent here, and so these aren't going to be able to stay on while we have the cyber tent as far as I can tell. So in terms of removing these, I think the easiest way is just taking these covers off and then taking the two nuts on the posts on each of those completely off. I think we can get away with leaving that top one on all the time because that shouldn't impede anything with the tent at all. The straps would go over it, but that wouldn't get in the way of that. So I think in terms of removal, this should be pretty easy, just taking those four nuts off and then taking the bars off. I don't think disassembling the bars in general would be time efficient. I think just taking the whole assembly off and then leaving them whenever we're going to go camping is going to be the easiest. All right, so we have all the crossbars installed here. In terms of installation difficulty for this, I'd rate it maybe a 2 out of 10. Hardest part was just doing this by myself, keeping this bar up here while we tighten the screws so that it didn't hit the glass. Would be much easier with a second person holding that. Also, if you're not filming and worrying about that, it's probably easier too. But other than that, just make sure that you're careful when you're threading the nuts onto the post here for these attachment points. Like I said, mine dropped down in a little crevice here and would have been a rattle. Thankfully, I was able to use a little bit of duct tape and get that nut out of there. Now, in terms of what came with it, got two little like spudgers. No idea what these are for. Wasn't in the instructions or anything. I'm thinking they might be for the seals that I think are missing in this one. I am going to reach out to TIYard and see if that was something that was just missed or what's up with that, because I have seen that in a couple other install videos. And then in terms of parts, I obviously have some extra parts because I didn't install the top bracket up there with the light bar being there. But in terms of removal, I've got the wrench here, I've got the Allen wrench, I've got the OEM nuts for the posts that were on that second bar there. Then I have some of the spare ones here and a spare screw. So think about 30 minutes to install this. Once you get the hang of it, it's a lot quicker. And then in terms of removal, I think it's just going to be easiest to take these two nuts off the posts on each side and take these off completely for when we go camping. Now I'm going to take it for a spin, and I'm actually going to probably close this video out in a couple days here because I want to see what happens with efficiency and with noise with these. Now I'm assuming there's going to be noise, one, because those seals aren't there, but two, because it's just adding something on top of the vehicle. Now my vehicle here is the Cybertruck is not a pinnacle of efficiency, as I do have the light bar, I have running boards on it, and I took the aero caps off of it. So we average about 440 watt hours per mile anyways. I'm assuming we'll see a little bit of a hit here. Hopefully not too much. These aren't really aerodynamic in any sense. They're kind of just rectangles. There is like a channel on the front here too. So not sure. I wonder if that one needs a seal there also, but on the front and back of these, we'll just have to see. So I'm going to test these out on the road, see what we do in terms of efficiency, and we'll end the video after that. All right, so it's a month later. We've been living with the TIYard roof racks on our Cybertruck, and I promised some updates at the end of that last video section, and here they are now. Number one, TIYard sent out the seals for our roof racks that were missing, got those installed, no issues there. Their customer service was prompt and easy, and got that all fixed up for us. Now, one of the things I talked about in the video was efficiency hit with roof racks on top of the Cybertruck, and from what I saw, we went from about 440 watt hours per mile up to 450 to 460 watt hours per mile, about a 5% increase or decrease, I guess you would say, in efficiency due to those roof racks. It's just making the air behind the truck a little less slippery, but 5% really is not that much. Now, that being said, if I'm not using the roof racks, I'm probably going to keep them off the truck just because they kind of limit access to the bed and you lose a little bit of that efficiency. Another thing that I talked about in the video was noise. And with the seals installed and everything on the truck, I really honestly didn't hear any difference in noise. Now, we do have that non-OEM light bar that's getting a lot of the air up front, so it was already a little bit of noise from that. I didn't hear anything from the roof racks on the back, so honestly, I'm impressed by that. I wasn't really expecting them to be extremely noisy, but usually with roof racks, like especially on our Model Y, occasionally you get like a weird whistling from them, but none of that here. They were perfect. All right, so in the beginning of the video, I said that Tesla sells their OEM roof rack bars for a set of 2 for $800, which I thought was extremely steep. TIYard comes in with their set of 4 for $599, but if you use my coupon code MAHKUS, M-A-H-K-U-S, it'll get that price down to $419. So you're looking at about half the price of Tesla and double the amount of bars. So you really can't beat that deal. I'll also link down below in the description the link for that. Otherwise, just go to TIYard.com, put the roof rack bars or whatever else you might like into your cart, type in MAHKUS, and you'll get quite the hefty discount. Now, let me know if you end up going with the roof rack bars. I think we're going to use them quite a bit. I may not have them on the truck all the time just because we're not hauling that much cargo, but if you're putting, kayaks or a ladder or a roof rack box or something on top of the Cybertruck, they're going to come quite in handy for us. So let me know if you get them. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one.